Good evening. This is a stock market recap for Monday, April 7th, the Black Monday that didn't happen. We did gap down, which was our third gap down. So actually, I'll go on the S&P 500 here. This was our third gap down. We gapped down a couple percent here and flushed a little bit more and then ended up bouncing. We had a big, there was a fake news event here that Trump was someone's claimed that Trump said that they were going to delay tariffs by 90 days. That was fake news, and we wicked just under the low or the high of yesterday, actually, or Friday, sorry. Massive volume candle, but a big upper wick. So that is both bulls and bears fighting for this at this point. So we haven't started bouncing on the daily yet. We want to hold the lows now at this point. And we've started our 4-hour bounce. So from this most recent high, we want to, I'm not going to totally count this wick from the fake news situation. We need to get over 515.78 and get to around 526, this 0.5 level here. Ideally, we get to the golden pocket though. Because if we get to the golden pocket on the way back up, then it'll give the bulls a lot of confidence that we will set a higher low on the way back down. So this is just a straight shot, straight 4-hour bounce at this time. ES, so SPY futures, you can see that as well. Straight 4-hour bounce. Whenever this tops out and we start consolidating on the 4-hour, we need to make enough room that we should see a 4-hour higher low on the way back down. So from this bounce so far, we are not oversold on everything from the 12-hour all the way to the 5 minutes. Everything's cooled off. So if the bears want to start taking over, where would they start looking? A lot of times they start looking at 15-minute oversold to set a 4-hour lower high, which, I mean, we did get to on this little bump here. Actually, we did here as well. So 15-minute did not mark it, so I'm inclined to think possibly 1 hour oversold. 1 hour oversold would be more likely to mark a daily lower high. So, overbought. So if we get into this overbought area here on the hourly for SPY futures or NASDAQ or whatever, it'll be interesting to see what happens on the first hourly overbought, and does that mark a daily lower high? Does it catch it? Do we end up back testing like the daily 8 or 12 exponential here? And does that mark a lower high before we try and find a higher low? And these are all the questions we are looking for at this time. But the most important thing is keeping this hourly uptrend now. Now that we have the 8 and 12 moving average underneath us, we need to keep that. We need to keep this hourly uptrend alive. And what I'm looking at is this is a potential rising wedge at this point. So, I mean, this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. We've got 3 touches on the upside, a couple touches on the bottom side, and where you can see how well it's respecting this upper trend line at this time. We bounced around and then shot down. Looks like we might be trying to head up again, but it looks like the bears were trying to take over, but it's kind of a fight right now, and this is an equilibrium on the 5 minute. But so that's what I'm looking at. I want us to get to, at least on ES, get to 5,300. Break out of this rising wedge, because the bears are looking for possible re-entries. So you have to think we're still technically in a bearish situation right now. So where will the bears try and scout that? So that's why you look for bearish patterns potentially to be the trigger that gets bears interested. And at this time, it's this rising wedge, and we will see how the futures play out from here on out. Yeah, as long as we keep this hourly uptrend, and keep the 8 and 12 moving average underneath us. There's nothing to worry. The 50 moving average is now above, we're coming up to right now, so that could be an issue too. The NASDAQ, same thing, exact same thing. Kind of got this rising wedge. Exact same thing I have to say about that. The Dow's a little bit stronger. You can see, and the reason why it is because it has finance and healthcare and other sectors that are less affected by tariffs. Like they're consumer goods is very affected by it, but their healthcare and finance sectors will not be as affected. So it's all about what is in the ETF, what holdings they have. The Russell, let's see how we're doing on small cap names. The Russell's actually bouncing pretty good at this time. It's obviously way more beat up than all the other sectors. So, yeah, we actually almost made it to the golden pocket on that bounce. So, just maintaining this hourly uptrend. You can see it's holding this hourly ADMA. It's like it's possible. There is definitely a possibility that we could have put a bottom in, and everyone was thinking we're going to crash, and when everyone shifts to the one side, things tend to go the other way. I'm not saying the bottom's in. I'm saying it is a potential it's just a potential that this could have been a bottom. I mean, we did crash 20% plus on all of our major indices, so it'll be interesting the next couple days. And I'm kind of the close we get on Friday is kind of gonna give me an indication of where we're at as far as stability in the markets and confidence in Wall Street. So, okay, semiconductors, we're up. That's good to see. Semiconductors are at the 0.382 now, so that is good, but also still have a potential rising wedge as well. Meta, so let's get into some individual names at this point. Meta shouldn't be as affected as... Yeah, so we're over the 0.382, so now more likely scenario that when this 4-hour tops out, that we will see we've negated a bear flag, so we should see a higher low on the way back down, but this is still bouncing at this time, so if we can get above the 8 and 12 4-hour EMAs, then that's an even better look. So, yeah. This looks like we had an equilibrium here that we are breaking or trying to break bull on. So that's good to see. The more names that keep breaking bull, it pulls the whole market up. Nvidia, so from its most recent high, Nvidia's at the 0.5. So that, yeah, so semiconductors have had a pretty decent bounce. Expect a higher low on the way down. We've negated this bear flag, and now at this point, yep, the hourly trend is your guide, and still trying to break bull in this hourly equilibrium at this point. Palantir's an AI company, so it's less. Yeah, there's less physical. It's a software company, so there's less. Well, you don't have the same consumer. You won't be as affected by tariffs. So that is why this bounce is happening. So that is interesting to see. This AI company, software company, is bouncing very strong. We are coming up to the golden pocket at this point. So Palantir is very strong. Palantir, so we had this head and shoulders that I was looking at. We've held this support. So yeah, it's Palantir looks pretty good at this point. So lots of room to set a higher low. This is a V-shaped recovery at this point, so that looks good. And we'll see what Palantir, the first hourly oversold, see if that starts getting bought up. Tesla, red day. Didn't close as strong, so we're still under the bear flag, the 0.382, so we need to get above that. We just broke or double bottomed here pretty much, so we're looking at this like a big equilibrium at this point. Now we're looking for a lower high, and we haven't set a daily high or low yet, so we need to break the high of tomorrow. Apple oversold on the 4, 12, and daily, not on the hourly and 30 minutes or 15. We're just looking for that daily high or low. Looks like we almost closed this gap, actually. Close to, but didn't quite fill this gap, but closed a big chunk of it anyways. Bit of a climax volume, and we'll see at the hourly. Yeah, we're kind of in an hourly equilibrium at this point. That looks like it's trying to break bull. So we need to break or start an hourly uptrend and maintain that. But it looks like they're trying to get above the EMAs. IBM, pretty big recovery so far. So from its most recent high, we're above the 0.382, so that's good. Looking for a lower high than this 252. Did this break? No, we're still technically, we haven't started a daily bounce yet, so we are in an hourly uptrend, so we need to maintain that. Google, hourly uptrend confirmed. We broke bull out of this. So yeah, this is good to see. More and more companies breaking bull out of this, out of these equilibriums is just good to see across the market. See if SPY broke bull, but with no follow through at this time. So looks like it's trying to set a higher low at this point, and we'll see how that goes. So Amazon actually started its daily bounce, actually. Okay, so this is we started a daily bounce already. So from its most recent high, we actually made it almost to the golden pocket on the way back, closed back down to the 0.32. Hourly uptrend. Yeah, I guess, that counts as an hourly uptrend. But that's the guide. As we had an equilibrium here, broke bull after hours. Alibaba once was a name that was standing out, now not so much, and very much at headline risk. I advise to stay away from Chinese names, especially. Chinese names will get way more beat up than American names, so I just caution. It's just not worth it to be trading the Chinese names. They're just so much more vulnerable than American names at this time. But we're just bouncing from the 200 moving average. See if we're. So we changed the hourly trend after hours. No follow through at this time. We've got the 8 and 12 moving average above us. And caution that will just guide us right back down, seeing as we broke bullish with no follow through, so that definitely raises a red flag right there. AMD, just in an hourly equilibrium at this point. Much more beat up than all the other, or not all the other, but the main semiconductor names. Still looking for. It looks like we might have changed the hourly trend on this one too. Hourly equilibrium, so be watching that. It'll probably break first thing tomorrow morning. Visa broke its hourly equilibrium. Now we just need to maintain this hourly uptrend. And we're just bouncing on the 4 hour. We've made enough room for a higher low now. Rgti, wow. So we lost support here that 703 support with no follow through and straight into a bounce. So we're just looking for a 4-hour lower high than right here. We'll see potentially if we set up a inverse head and shoulders right here. We can easily just break right through it, but we're just looking for a daily lower high than whatever this resistance is, 892. And we've got the 8 and 12 moving average above us and the 50 moving average as well for the daily. Microsoft trying to put in its bottom, and all across the boards, this volume is very significant that enough that we might put in a even if it's just a temporary bottom, we see a daily bounce, then we start looking for a weekly lower high, and then we look down. But yeah, this type of volume is indicative of a climax bottom. If we can get 4-hour uptrends on all these names, all these sectors, indices, if we get the 4-hour uptrend, then we'll be looking where do we lose the 4-hour uptrend, and that could be potentially. This is hypothetical too. This is this would be looking at weekly bounces. So from where we are, if we can get 4-hour uptrends, that is the most important thing at this time, and that will give us more confidence that we are putting in a weekly higher, or we're putting in our weekly higher low, and then we would be looking for a weekly lower high than the all-time high. So just going off of SPY again. ES futures getting some more traction here. That's good to see. We broke that inside bar bullish, and we're moving a bit forward. So when we start bouncing, like we bounce on the weekly, we are, like I said, we hit weekly oversold. We're just going to be looking for a weekly lower high, then 5837 on the way back up, and wherever that comes from, I would expect a 4-hour trend change before this time, because this is huge move, so I would be expecting a lower high on the way back up. Sorry, I'll go back to Microsoft. Just broke its inside bar bullish at this time, so that means our equilibrium, we broke bull, but no follow through at this time. Need more follow through, keep your hourly uptrend alive. SMCI got its hourly uptrend confirmed, and quite a big bounce at this time. Much more beat up than other names, obviously, so we got a double bottom to a support, and we're just looking for a daily lower high, then 3605, and then we'll see if we set up an inverse head and shoulders at that point. But good volume behind the, or okay volume behind the move. That's actually not that great. Nflx, so we hit the 200 moving average, dumped a little bit under, and then straight into a bounce, and then double topped. We tweezer topped at the high of Friday. So don't like seeing that, but so we're ended the day with an hourly equilibrium. So the break of that will be important tomorrow morning, just like every other name. Most names are in hourly equilibriums or breaking their hourly equilibriums bullish, keeping their 4-hour bounces alive, and then we want to see as much of a 4-hour bounce as possible so we can set a 4-hour higher low on the way back down, and ideally change the 4-hour trend at that point. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for a lot of these names, and I hope everyone's coming or feeling a little bit more relaxed with how things are with this a little bit of a relief bounce. But I do caution that we have to be ready for the potential that we do go back down. I think Wednesday we announce, or Trump announces more reciprocal tariffs if China decides to go ahead with theirs. So these are going to be top of the headlines, and anything can be turned around in a dime if with the right news. So just be cautious of that. We could easily just break down, flush right into new lows if China's like full on trade war. We're going right to the end. So we will see. And so anyways, I will see you tomorrow for stock market recap, and good luck everybody. Bye.